Hi guys, how are you? Um, just want to say a few notes or a few comments with regards to tonight's game. Um, for years, I've noticed that the Egyptians play a certain kind of football, or like I always say, they have a certain culture or a certain football culture that they adhere to. In particular, the speed at which they move, um, the tactical approach, um, including even the use of the 12th supporter. Looking at today's game, that's Zimbabwe and our Warriors versus Egypt, my thoughts are that this is going to be a difficult game where we are playing in front of 80,000, or the Warriors are playing in front of 80,000 plus supporters, vociferous supporters. But if you look at even the qualifiers, our Warriors have played in front of intimidating crowds as well. Liberia is one such example, Congo, Brazzaville, not to mention DRC itself. Um, so I think as far as the supporters are concerned, this size of supporters that are there tonight shouldn't worry the Warriors, because they are so much used to playing before such large crowds. For the coach as well, in Sandwich Zambia, this is one experienced coach who has seen it all in our local football. Um, I'm persuaded to go back to is it 93 when Dynamos were playing against ASEC Mimosas in Cote d'Ivoire. It was a high temperamental game, which a lot of intimidating tactics were used by the home side. And at some point, I remember even the captain of the day, who was Memorem Cheroa, was stoned by some supporters, and they had to finish the match with a bandage strapped on his head, if I remember very well. So in the coach himself, we have someone who has been through grueling battles, has seen it all in African football. He has been there with some of these big stadiums in front of these vociferous crowds. So I think in Sande Chizambo rather, they have a coach who is experienced enough to drill his team to withstand that heat. Then, in terms of the tactics, like I've said, that Egypt do play a certain kind of football over the years. It's their culture, is the way of playing football. I think, as I've mentioned, that they normally play a fast, call it a European game. I've noticed also that even previous games where they've beaten us, the Nigerians tend to, the Egyptians rather, my apologies, the Egyptians tend to struggle against Zimbabwe. Even if on a winning course, they tend to struggle. It doesn't come easy for them. The previous coach was Reinhard Fabish with the Dream Team. He had mastered the art of playing against the pharaohs of Egypt. And one of such tactics is never play at their game. Never play the kind of game that they play. They play a fast game. I believe the Warriors tonight, what they have to do, just in short, they have to make sure that they slow the game down. They don't move at the speed at which the Pharaohs will be using. They have to slow down the game. Really slow it down. Play a passing game, but really slow it down. Frustrate the Egyptians by this slow game. Slow, boring game, but very resolute. in their midfield and in their defense. I believe the Egyptians will be looking for the goal from the very first minute. From the 5th minute, they'll be bombarding us. And if the Warriors can stand their ground for the 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I can see the Egyptian supporters getting frustrated, even the Egyptian players frustrated. And please note that this AFCON, this time, there will be water breaks. So the first water break will come, I think, on the 30th minute. And if we can push these guys so that by the 30th minute, these guys have not scored, that stoppage, that water break stoppage will sort of kill their rhythm. But if they go to that water break having scored, then the chances are that they might use those water breaks and everything that they can to try and frustrate, to try and delay the game. So yeah, that's one of the things that the Warriors have to worry to guard against. Then also, chances are that Egyptians will also try and employ dead ball tactics, which means they'll try and make sure they force fouls inside the Warriors half so that they can get some free kicks, and nobody really knows, unless the Warriors have been watching their clips, nobody really knows how good the Egyptians are on set pieces. But trust me, even Salah himself, outside the box, he can do wonders. So the Warriors have to guard against that. They have to make sure that within their half, they don't commit any fouls. They're resolute enough to break down any opponent attack. And like I said, slow down the game and try to catch the Egyptians on the counter. I believe with players like Kamabiliet and Msona, not to mention even the presence of Mshekwi, who can be a dark horse, who can goes from nowhere and cause commotion. So all being said and done, I wish all our Warriors all the best. To the fans, I just want to urge each other that should the Warriors win, should they lose, let's still stand by the Warriors and give them our support. Cheers.